Hi, thank you for joining us. My name is Nancy Wanjiro Kabiru and I'm a psychologist with Hisia Psychology Consultants. Today we have a guest in studio with us. She's a very close friend of mine, a bubbly personality. She is an inspiration to me. We meet on various social media platforms and we work together. And I'm happy that she accepted to come in studio. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Wariimi. Please tell us about yourself.
Okay. Yeah, thanks Nancy for having me do this interview with you. I feel it's an honor. Yeah. My name is Wariimi Karingi. I'm a mental health advocate and mental health warrior. But before I got into the mental health industry or space, I used to work in the IT industry. So I worked in the IT industry for about 12 years. And then due to the fact that now my health became an issue, I decided now to move into the mental health space.
I like that, and I know whenever we speak, because we speak very often, you tell me, oh, I'm just from speaking with my therapist. I like the fact that you have embraced the journey. You take your medication, you talk with your therapist, and then you're engaging people on creating awareness. You talk about your journey, meaning there won't be a time that you will go down and nobody notices. Also, keeping social circles is an important aspect, having the proper support, and you have to work for it. I think it is very important for people to know you have to work for this social support, because if you don't put yourself out there, people won't know how to reach to you.
Then maybe let me add on that one for the support system. One of the things that I've learned is that not everyone will understand. It can be your spouse, it can be your mother, it can be your father, it can be, your closest best friend. Not everyone will understand. So we need to just gauge and say, because for me, my mom was coming from a good place. Like in terms of, I think she was in denial that I'm unwell. So she'd be like, yeah, I know you're unwell, but let's pray. Like, she never really accepted it. So even the support didn't come really as much as I would have wanted from her mother. And actually, it took her hearing someone else's story in church to come back and tell me, now it makes sense. So, and that was 3 years into my illness. You can imagine. So for me now, I used to be like, now why can't mom understand? Why can't mom understand? And there's someone who told me that, you know what, think about it this way. She's in denial, you're her child, she's in pain, she doesn't want to whatever. So of course now, it only took her now hearing someone else. It can be your best friend. Your best friend just doesn't want to understand. They are like, no, you don't have depression, you just need to think positive, whatever. So don't let that get to you. Even it can be your wife, can be your husband. It is painful, yes, but just look for that person who will be understanding in your journey. Don't expect everyone to be there for you.
What inspired you to start Let's Go Mentor?
When I left work, I've decided to start a business. So I'd always wanted to open a lingerie shop. And when I say lingerie, yes, they're the sexy things, but also intimate wear, usual, even for men and stuff like that. So I was like, this is my opportunity to start the business. So I started it. But now, because you see, I was not able to be there all through. The girls were either stealing from me, or if I didn't have a girl, I would lock the shop for like 3 days. And that's not good for business. So come June 2018, it reached a point now I was noticing that my business is not going to stay afloat for too long. And then unfortunately now when I was starting to decide what do I want to do I want to take my business purely online, what do I want to do, someone played me. So I had to close the shop. So you can imagine, in 2016, I lost my job. Then 2 years later, 2018, I'm closing a business, which for me was like my lifeline, because I'm like, since I can't work, this business has to work. So you can imagine I had all that faith in me, and then now this happens. So August, September, October, I was just in the house. I never used to leave the house. I never used to eat. I was just a total mess. Where I used to live, I was on 5th floor, and my balcony used to face a road. And I remember I would go to the balcony and I'm like, if I jump, I will not be, like, I won't live, So I need to know when I am ready to do this. So I would go, I'd stand at the balcony, at about midnight, 1. So one evening, I just, when I was in the house, I'm like, okay, before I take my life, why don't I use my pain to help other people not get to where I am, you know? So as opposed to now just saying, let me just give up, let me help people. 1, 2, 3. In fact, even my maximum was 3 people. Just 3 people, they get to understand the symptoms so they can get treatment early. And so that is exactly how now Let's Go Mental Health started.
Changed the mentality from feeling like a victim to now champion.
So that is how basically I started the journey. I thought about it. I'm like, because you can imagine now I don't have a job. My business has closed, so financially I'm not doing okay. So I decided, you know what, let me start using social media platform to talk about it. So that is how basically it began. There are very many people's lives that have been touched. So many people who have gone to hospital, even some people who have personally driven to their houses, and these are total strangers, driven to their houses, picked them and taken them to see a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Because I'm like, I don't want just to be like, oh, you know, you need to see a therapist and then I leave that person there. Let me take you till the last part. Then from there, now it's up to you now to pick up from there.